Hello, my name is Kathy Hill, and I'm the Financial Aid Liaison at Laurel Ridge Community College. Thanks for joining me today to understand Satisfactory Academic Progress, also known as SAP. I know many of you are perfectly capable of reading the slides, but to help our visually impaired friends, I'll be reading and summarizing the slides. This webinar is intended to provide general guidance and resources to assist you, but please be sure to do your own research. How does SAP affect financial aid eligibility, you ask? Students must meet federally mandated standards to keep their financial aid. We'll go into more detail about the different SAP rules. Those three basic rules are grade point average, course completion rates, and maximum credits attempted. What is SAP? As we said before, it stands for Satisfactory Academic Progress. You can use the QR code to get to our website about SAP. Again, I mentioned that these are federal guidelines created for academic standards to maintain eligibility for federal, state, and institutional financial aid. Failing to meet SAP requirements can lead to a loss of financial aid. The Financial Aid Office will evaluate SAP before any aid is awarded, and then after grades are posted for every term, starting with the first term of enrollment. There are different statuses. Meeting SAP. Great job! Your financial aid is good to go. Warning: you can keep your aid for the semester, but you need to right the ship by the end of the semester to meet the standards. A third is SAP suspension not meeting SAP, which means you've failed one or more SAP standards and are not eligible to receive aid. However, you can appeal, but please be aware, appeals are not guaranteed to get approved. It's also different than academic suspension, which are academic requirements to stay in school or your particular program of study. The academic requirements can be higher than the SAP requirements. And then there's probation. You've successfully appealed to continue receiving aid for one semester, and you'll stay on that probation or academic plan is another term until you meet those federal academic standards. There's a progressive scale for the minimum GPA requirement. This means the more credits you take, the higher the required GPA. Your goal should be to get at least a C in every course, and then you'll meet that requirement. Each letter has a different grade point. An A is for 4 points, a B is 3 points, C is 2 points, a D is 1 point, and an F is 0. Students must maintain a minimum GPA, and after completing 31 or more credit hours, it must be a 2.0. A grade of pass, re-enroll, satisfactory, unsatisfactory, withdrawal, incomplete, or audit do not receive grade points. But you must have a SAP completion rate of 67%. The formula is the number of successfully completed credits divided by all the attempted credits. All college classes count. Dual enrollment, classes taken over 30 years ago, etc. Transfer courses count towards the completion rate, but the grades don't transfer. Those courses do not help your GPA at Laurel Ridge. For federal aid, know that a withdrawal calculates like an F for the completion rate. A successfully completed course is one where a grade of A, B, C, D, P, or S is earned. Do keep in mind, a D will affect your GPA negatively, and students can fail more than one SAP requirement. The third SAP requirement is a maximum credits attempted of 150%. An associate's degree requires 60 credits, so 150% of 60 credits is 90 credits. For a bachelor's degree, it's 120 credits, so 150% of 120 is 180 credits. Now be sure that you only take classes that are listed in your chosen program. Don't change your plan of study too many times, and you will not be eligible for any financial aid, federal financial aid, once you reach 180 credits, even for a bachelor's degree. We have had students in the past fail the 150% rule because they decided to pursue a second program. When that happened, they were required to submit an appeal every term until they completed the second credential or reached the federal maximum limit. You might ask yourself, I've had it rough and failed SAP. What next? We at Laurel Ridge understand there are things that are not under your control. Life can get crazy, and there are a lot of unexpected twists and turns that can knock us off course. So if you're ready to get back onto your academic journey, you can make an appeal. What are some of those things that might have knocked you off course? Any of these examples can make it difficult to succeed in school. There can be as many different reasons as there are struggling students, and that's why we have an appeal process. So again, what barriers have you experienced? Anxiety and depression, death of a family member, food insecurity or illness, lack of sleep, transportation issues? We can assist in many of these instances. The SAP appeal process is 4 basic steps. First, you go to the appeal form on the financial aid website. The second is to explain yourself and be honest when filling out the form. The third is to submit that form and any supporting documentation electronically to the financial aid office. And then lastly, wait for a decision on your appeal and be aware of the academic plan requirements to maintain financial aid eligibility. If you use a QR code, you can see it's not a difficult form, but it does take time to thoughtfully fill it out. It's very important for us to know what obstacles you face so we can try to connect you with resources to help you. You do need to think about your goals, how to get there, and what you will do to get there. This is a screenshot of our SAP appeal process on our website. You can find the steps to the appeal about 2/3 down our SAP website. You'll need to check your to-do list in SIS to determine your SAP rule. Then you select the appropriate button on our SAP appeal process website, whether it's the GPA and 67% rule or the 150% rule. Use the QR code to access the time management calculator. It's a good tool for you to use and to think about how you spend your time and where you can possibly make changes. There are only 168 hours in the week, so divide your time up wisely between categories of attending class, studying, working, commuting, eating, sleeping, your personal hygiene and exercise, any student organizations and recreation, your household duties, socializing, screen time, and any other things that take up your time. Your success is ultimately up to you. Now, to give you an idea about the amount of time you should be studying, for every hour you're in the classroom, you can expect to study and have homework for 3 hours each week for each class. So if you're taking 9 hours of classes, you'll be studying for 27 more hours. Now keep that in mind when registering for classes. Great, your SAP appeal has been approved. Then what? Well, your financial aid eligibility has been reinstated, but you are now bound to a higher academic standard. You must maintain a C or better in all classes that you enroll in, and you cannot withdraw from any of those classes. If your appeal is approved, you must stick to that academic plan that you agree to. For example, if you're restricted to only taking 6 hours, you can't register for 9 hours of courses thinking you can pay for the extra 3 credits. We don't want students to overburden themselves and not be able to turn things around. Here are some helpful habits to start. Know and use the Laurel Ridge campus resources of You Belong Here. Know and use our community resources. And be sure to navigate roadblocks or unexpected challenges. If you do end up on SAP warning, take advantage of the resources both on and off campus to help you. And that's why they're there. Now these 2 QR codes will take you to helpful websites. Come to me with questions. I may not have the answers, but together we can look for them, or I can connect you with someone who can answer them. Here are some more helpful habits. Develop a college plan. Identify your goals and priorities. Understand how you learn. Manage your time, and then use your support network by going to faculty office hours. You might have heard the phrase, those who fail to plan to fail. So come up with a plan, but also be prepared to make changes as things arise. Break your goals down into smaller steps so you don't feel overwhelmed. And learn about yourself and others who can help you on this journey. I mentioned learning how you learn. There are some students that learn by visual, others by auditory, others by hands-on. So make sure you find classes that are going to help you in the way that you learn. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. My number is 540-868-7131, and my email is chill@laurelridge.edu. Now, normally I'm at the Middletown campus on Tuesdays and Fridays, and the Fauquier campus on Mondays and Wednesdays. But my schedule can and does change. You can also contact anyone here in the financial aid office, and our general email is finaid@laurelridge.edu. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you at the next webinar.